Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day. This morning, the moment Huyen opens the door, she freezes. Hanging right on the porch is a cloth bag she doesn't recognize. Inside is the Ao Dai Ji, carefully hid the day before she even has time to fully take it in. His mother's voice calls out from the yard, warm and cheerful, "Come into the kitchen, we're wrapping cakes today." It feels cozy, familiar, full of holiday spirit. But just as Huyen is about to hang the dress neatly so it won't wrinkle, something small shifts the mood. Just suddenly starts digging through the bag, searching for something. His expression changes. He looks up at Huyen and asks her one unexpected question, one that makes her stop cold. Stay with Huyen, because in just one morning, a sweet, pre-tete surprise turns into a quiet test of how this family chooses peace through a decision that sounds simple, but isn't easy at all. Early in the morning, the air is still sharp with cold, but the first hints of sunlight are already breaking through. It's that in-between moment of the day, when winter hasn't fully loosened its grip. Yet the light promises something gentler ahead. Huyen is awake early, moving quietly as she sweeps the yard, and the sound of the broom brushing against the ground, steady and familiar. When she finishes, she carefully brings out the new Ao Dai. She doesn't rush. Instead, she hangs it neatly on the line, smoothing the fabric with both hands so every fold falls just right. Once it's straight, she gently drapes a thin cloth over it, protecting it from dust and morning dew. The gesture is small, almost ceremonial, as if she's safeguarding something precious rather than just a piece of clothing. A moment later, Jess steps outside. The cool air hits his face as he stretches, then his eyes land on the Ao Dai, swaying lightly in the breeze. He pauses, a smile slowly spreading across his face. "You're really taking care of it," he says, half amused, half pleased. That way, when you wear it again later, it won't have a single wrinkle. Huyen hears the warmth in his voice, but chooses to respond differently. She straightens up and puts on a mock serious expression. "Nice clothes are for Tet," she says firmly. "Today is just another work day. I still have things to do." Her tone is playful, but there's truth behind it. To her, celebration and responsibility have clear boundaries. Work comes first. Special things are saved for special moments. Jay nods, accepting her answer without argument. He knows her well enough to understand that this is simply who she is. But even as he turns away, his eyes keep drifting back to the Ao Dai. He glances at it once, then again, as if worried it might somehow disappear if he looks away for too long. The sunlight grows stronger, catching the fabric beneath a thin cloth, making it glow softly. For Huyen, the sight brings a quiet sense of calm. The dress isn't being worn yet, but just knowing it's there, carefully hung waiting, feels reassuring. It's a reminder that Tet is close, that there will be a moment set aside just for joy, no matter how busy or tiring the days feel right now. Around them, the house slowly wakes up. Somewhere inside, there's the faint sound of movement, maybe a pot being set down or footsteps crossing the floor. Life continues at its usual pace. There's still sweeping to finish meals, to prepare work waiting beyond the gate. Nothing about the morning is extravagant or dramatic. And yet, something is different. The Ao Dai, hanging in the early light, represents more than a holiday outfit. It carries intention, care, thoughtfulness. For Jie, it's proof that his quiet plan worked, that she has something beautiful waiting for her. For Huyen, it's a rare indulgence she didn't allow herself to ask for, now gently woven into her everyday routine. She picks up the broom again and continues sweeping the rhythm, grounding her. but every so often her gaze flicks back toward the line, checking that the cloth hasn't slipped, that the dress is still safe. She doesn't smile openly, but there's a softness in her expression that wasn't there before. Jen notices this too. He doesn't say anything, doesn't tease her or make a big deal out of it. He just stands there for a moment longer, committing the image to memory. The quiet yard, the early sun, Huyen moving steadily through her chores, and the Ao Dai hanging between them like a promise of what's to come. Soon enough the day will pull them back into its demands. But for now, in this brief morning pause, everything feels balanced. Cold and light. Work and celebration. Practicality and tenderness. And even though Huyen insists today is just another working day, both of them know the truth. Tet is already here, not in fireworks or feasts yet, but in small, careful moments like this, where a simple piece of fabric hanging in the sun is enough to warm the heart. Out in the garden, both of them are busy with their own tasks. When Ja's mother, Grandma, calls out from the kitchen, her voice warm but firm. "You two come in here for a minute. I want to talk." Huyen wipes her hands on the edge of her apron and heads inside. The kitchen feels instantly welcoming. On the table, Grandma has already set out a pot of hot tea steam rising gently from the spout, along with a neat stack of fresh dong leaves. They're still fragrant, carrying that clean, earthy scent of the forest, the kind that immediately signals Tet is close. Grandma motions for them to sit. She doesn't rush. Pouring tea slowly, she explains that this year they won't be making a big batch of holiday cakes. There's no need to overdo it, she says. Just a small pot will be enough. But what matters is doing it properly, taking the time, wrapping them neatly, cooking them with care. It's not about quantity, she adds calmly. It's about having that feeling of togetherness. Jay shifts slightly, already thinking about the work waiting outside. He opens his mouth ready to say that he's busy, that there's still so much to get done. But before he can finish the sentence, Huyen gently reaches over and tugs at his hand. "Let's just make a small batch," she says softly. "Enough to enjoy? It'll be warm and it'll be fun." Her voice isn't loud or insistent, but there's something steady in it. She's not asking him to abandon responsibility, just to pause briefly and make room for something meaningful. Grandma watches the exchange quietly, a faint smile forming at the corners of her mouth. She's seen enough seasons, enough Tet holidays to know how easy it is for people to get caught up in being busy and forget why these traditions exist in the first place. She nods, her tone gentle but certain. "You've already got a new Ao Dai," she says, glancing toward Huyen. "Now add a pot of cakes, and that's enough for Tet." The words are simple, but they carry weight. Huyen feels it immediately. A warmth spread through her chest, not just from the tea, but from the realization that Tet doesn't have to be perfect or exhausting to feel complete. It doesn't require excess or stress. Sometimes it's these small, intentional things that matter most. Jay exhales quietly and gives a small nod. The resistance fades from his posture. He looks at the dong leaves on the table, then at the tea, then at the two women in front of him. There's something grounding about the scene, so ordinary, yet so full. The kitchen hums softly with life. Outside, the cold air still lingers, but in here it feels contained, held back by warmth and familiarity. The leaves rustle slightly as Grandma adjusts the stack, her hands moving with practiced ease. She's done this countless times before, but each year carries its own meaning. For her, making cakes isn't just about food. It's about slowing down, sitting together, letting hands work while hearts settle. It's about creating a shared memory, even if no one says it out loud. Huyen glances at Jae, giving his hand another gentle squeeze. She knows he worries about time, about money, about doing everything right. But she also knows this moment matters. Years from now, it won't be the errands or the chores that stand out. It'll be the image of steam arising from a pot, the smell of dong, leaves the sound of quiet conversation in the kitchen. Jae catches her look and gives a faint smile, one that says he understands. Maybe not fully, but enough. Grandma pours another round of tea and settles back slightly satisfied. In her mind, the picture is coming together. A new dress, a small pot of cakes, a family gathered even briefly in the middle of a busy season. That's Tet. Nothing more is needed. Outside, the garden waits. There will still be work to do. But for now, in this moment, time stretches just enough to hold them all. The warmth of the tea seeps into their hands. The scent of leaves fills the air. And the quiet decision is made not loudly, not ceremoniously, but together. This Tet won't be extravagant. It won't be rushed. It will be built from small choices like this one, choosing to sit down, choosing to make something with care, choosing warmth over hurry. And as they sit there in the kitchen, surrounded by simple things that suddenly feel important, it becomes clear that the holiday has already arrived, not through decorations or feasts, but through the quiet agreement to be present, to share, and to keep the season gentle and whole. As afternoon settles in, the house slowly fills with activity. The light outside softens, stretching long shadows across the yard, while inside everyone gathers around the low table to begin preparing the cakes. Leaves are rinsed carefully, one by one. Sticky rice is soaked, then lifted and drained. Beans are washed and sorted, the small repetitive tasks, creating a quiet rhythm that feels both familiar and grounding. Huyen sits near the center, focused and determined. She's been handed a bundle of bamboo strings and is trying her best to tie them tightly around the folded leaves. But no matter how carefully she pulls the knot, keeps slipping loose. She tries again and again. Each time the bundle shifts, just slightly refusing to hold its shape. Across from her, Jae watches for a moment before breaking into a grin. Unable to resist teasing her, he laughs and says, "You look so elegant in that ao dye. But when it comes to wrapping cakes, you tie them like you're bundling grass." Huyen freezes for half a second, then her face warms instantly. She shoots him a look, ready to fire back with a sharp reply. Her mouth opens, pride, stung embarrassment bubbling right beneath the surface. Before she can say a word, Ji's mother gently steps in, not with scolding, but with calm. She reaches over, takes Huyen's hands in hers, and slowly loosens the string. With practiced movements, she adjusts the leaves, folding them more carefully, pressing each edge into place. Her voice is steady and reassuring. "Whatever you do," she says softly, "take your time. Don't rush it. Sticky rice can sense impatience. If you hurry, the cake will fall apart." The words are simple, almost playful, but they carry the weight of experience. There's no criticism in her tone, only guidance. Huyen feels the tension drain from her shoulders. She nods, watching closely as each fold is redone with intention. Under the older woman's hands, the leaves suddenly seem cooperative, settling neatly where they're meant to be. Huyen realizes it's not about strength, it's about patience. Joe watches the scene quietly now. The teasing smile fades from his face as he takes it all in his mother's calm instruction. Huyen's earnest attention, the gentle way hands move together over the work. Something about it softens him. He doesn't say anything. Instead, he reaches to the side, gathers a few extra bamboo strings, and slides them across the table toward Huyen. Then, without a word, he sits closer and starts wrapping cakes himself, working alongside her to keep pace. The mood shifts. What began as light teasing turns into quiet cooperation. The sound of laughter fades, replaced by the soft rustle of leaves, the subtle scrape of string against bamboo, the steady breathing of people focused on the same task. The kitchen feels warmer, not just from the heat of the fire, but from the shared effort. Huyen glances at Ji, surprised by his silence, but grateful. She copies the way his mother folded the leaves, slowing her movements, feeling each step instead of rushing through it. This time, when she ties the string, it holds. She exhales, a small smile breaking through. Outside, the sky deepens into evening. The cold air presses against the windows, but inside the room is alive with quiet warmth. A pot is readied nearby, water beginning to heat for later. The smell of soaked rice and fresh leaves blends into something unmistakably seasonal. Ja's mother watches them work, saying little now. She doesn't need to. Her lesson has landed. She knows moments like this, unremarkable on the surface, are the ones that linger. Not because everything is done perfectly, but because everyone is present. For Huyen, this afternoon feels different from other days of work. There's no rush to finish, no pressure to prove herself. Mistakes are corrected gently. Laughter comes and goes. And when she struggles, someone is there to steady her hands instead of pointing out the flaw. Ja ties another knot, this one firm and neat, then passes the finished bundle forward. He catches Huyen watching him and shrugs slightly, as if to say it's nothing. But the quiet decision to sit down and help speaks louder than words. As more cakes line up on the tray, each one wrapped a little tighter than the last, the sense of togetherness grows. This isn't about skill or speed. It's about learning, sharing, and staying with the task until it feels right. By the time the first pot is ready to go on the stove, the daylight has nearly faded. The family pauses for a moment, looking at what they've done so far. It isn't perfect, but it's theirs. And in that simple afternoon of washed leaves, loose knots, gentle correction, and silent support, Tet quietly takes shape, not as something grand or ideal, but as something real, warm, and shared. As night settles in, the pot of cakes begins to simmer softly out on the porch. The water bubbles and pops in a steady rhythm, sending thin curls of smoke into the air. The scent of burning wood mixes with the rich, earthy aroma of dong leaves, filling the space with a warmth that feels unmistakably like the holidays. It's the kind of smell that lingers in your clothes and hair, the kind that quietly announces that something meaningful is happening. Inside, Huyen moves gently as she pours a cup of hot ginger water and hands it to Ja's mother. Her voice is low and respectful when she speaks. "Thank you," she says softly, "for yesterday, for not asking too many questions." Ja's mother accepts the cup, her hands wrapping around the warmth. She takes a small sip, then looks at Huyen with a calm, knowing expression. A faint smile crosses her face. "I don't need to ask much," she replies. "I can tell everything I need to know by watching how you live." The words are simple, but they land deeply. Huyen lowers her eyes slightly, feeling a tightness in her chest she didn't expect. It isn't guilt or relief exactly, it's recognition. Being seen quietly and without judgment. Nearby, Ja sits on a low stool, listening without interrupting. The firelight flickers across his face as he looks from his mother to Huyen, then back towards the pot outside. After a moment, he speaks, his voice barely louder than the crackling fire. "This Tet," he says, hesitating just a bit, "let's do things properly. Let's really start over." He doesn't explain what he means. He doesn't have to. Huyen doesn't answer right away. She keeps her eyes on the pot, watching the lid tremble slightly as the water boils underneath. The sound is steady, reassuring. Instead of responding with words, she simply nods. That small movement says enough. In that moment, something settles inside her. The feeling that Tet is close suddenly becomes real, not because of fireworks or crowded markets, not because of decorations or noise, but because of this quiet scene, a pot gently boiling warm drinks passed hand to hand, and people sitting together without rushing or demanding more than what's already there. The night air outside is cold, pressing in from all sides. But near the fire, the warmth holds steady. Shadows dance on the walls, and the low murmur of the boiling pot blends with the soft sounds of breathing of presence. No one feels the need to fill the silence. Huyen thinks back over the past days, the surprise of the Ao Dai, the careful way it was chosen, and set aside the afternoon spent wrapping cakes with clumsy knots and patient hands guiding hers. None of it was extravagant. None of it was loud. But each moment added something layer by layer, building a sense of belonging she hadn't realized she was missing. She glances briefly toward where the Ao Dai is hanging inside, neatly arranged, waiting for the right moment. It's more than a gift. It's a reminder that someone thought of her, saved for her, wanted her to feel special without her having to ask. Ji's mother sits quietly now, sipping her ginger water, watching the fire. Her posture is relaxed, content. For her, this is enough. A simple pot of cakes, a family gathered close, no unnecessary tension. She understands that peace doesn't come from explanations, it comes from consistency, from watching how people show up day after day. Ja shifts slightly beside Huyen, closer than before. He doesn't reach out or make a show of it. His presence alone is enough. The earlier teasing, the awkwardness, the hesitation, all of it fades into the background. The pot continues to boil, steady and patient. It will take hours yet, but no one is in a hurry. This is part of the ritual, staying up, checking the fire, sharing small conversations, or sitting in comfortable silence. Time slows down around the stove. Huyen feels her shoulders relax, the constant tightness she carries easing just a little. For once, she isn't thinking ahead to the next task, the next worry. She's right here in this moment, listening to the fire and the water, feeling the warmth on her skin. She realizes then that Tet has already arrived, not in spectacle, not in abundance, but in the quiet certainty that she is cared for. That there are people beside her who choose patience over questions, presence over pressure. That there is a home where the stove is lit, where hands work together, and where a simple gift can make her feel valued. The night deepens, the fire burns steadily, and the pot keeps simmering, carrying with it not just cakes, but the quiet promise of a new beginning, cooked slowly and carefully, just the way it should be.